What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Wasting Time. Your lovely hosts, all three of us, whose names we will not name because we don't have names. We are the nameless.
That would get really confusing.
Facepalm.
A nameless number one. What is your comment?
How are you today, host number one? I'm doing just fine, host number two.
Love it.
So, how's everybody doing this week?
Boy, you know.
Not too bad.
Yeah,
It's
about
been-
the same. Usual week.
Yeah.
Missed you guys.
The next week it's gonna be horrible for us. I don't even want to talk about it.
Oh, just you shut your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No work talk. This is playtime.
Yeah. Well, when we say week, we mean not work.
Oh. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, yep, I had a couple things I wanted to ask you guys about and just get your opinions. So,
Drop them.
yeah, let's start. We're all big video game fans.
Like it's hot.
Yeah, big video game fans, big nerds, big geeks. Let's talk about what video game world would you most want to live in? John, I'm going to ask you first.
Oof. Oof. No time to think. Quick, go. Gun to the back of your head.
Quick fire, quick fire.
And I'm dead. I don't know. Like, in the past, it was always like the Fallout world. It doesn't help that Travis and I at work, we talk about the end of the world happening very soon anyways. So, I mean, that's those conversations have rekindled my, want to live in a Fallout type world.
So we might be closer to the wasteland than you actually think. But
That's here nor there. But yeah, definitely Fallout would be pretty awesome. But unless, anything by Bethesda, of course, Skyrim would be phenomenal, or just Elder Scrolls as a whole, because then I can use magic if I want. And who doesn't want to use magic?
right on. Well, you basically stole my answer. So,
Yeah.
Travis.
Yeah. Thanks for that, there, John. Well, next bullet point.
Nameless number 3, kicked from the podcast.
All right, Travis, what video game world would you most want to live in?
I'd have to agree with the whole. It'd have to be medieval, for sure. So yeah, I would say. Skyrim, and my point on that is I like the magic and fucking dragons. I mean, who doesn't like dragons?
True that. True that. Being able to ride a dragon too, that would just be
Yeah.
joygasm to the most.
Just shouting to the sky really loudly, and all of a sudden there's a dragon sitting next to you that you can just hop right up on.
I'd be like Peter Griffin riding the luck dragon. Yeah. Exactly. So definitely Skyrim in the Elder Scrolls universe, not Morrowind or Oblivion. Definitely Skyrim.
Yeah, definitely Skyrim.
Well,
You
that's why I said like the Elder Scrolls world, like the whole world of Tamriel.
Yeah.
Go to any
Yeah.
compliment.
I guess if you want to get specific though, like Travis, we know he's more into the Viking world. He loves the show Vikings. He
Right.
loves the mythology and
so like going back in
everything
time
about
to that
Vikings.
era.
So yeah, Skyrim I think would definitely suit Travis rather. Plus that beard is pretty epic. We just gotta like braid some stuff into it.
Yes.
I could see you riding on the back of a dragon with a battle axe, hoisting a stein of mead.
As I drink the blood of my enemies.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about you, Joe?
Like I said, John stole my answer. I would definitely be Wasteland, Fallout type. I've always really been intrigued with post-apocalyptic type scenarios. Like, I loved Mad Max when I was a kid. Escape from New York, Escape from LA, you know, those types of movies. Like, I've always been really intrigued by the whole post-apocalyptic world. So Fallout, that would definitely be me. And with how good I am in those video games, I would totally just run shit. You know, I would be rich in caps. You know, I would never want for anything. And, I would just feel right at home in a post-apocalyptic world. The only drawback, though, is you really can't play video games because you're in the post-apocalypse. So, you know, like, video games don't exist anymore, but life essentially is your video game. So,
Yep.
you're going out, you're scavenging for supplies, you're trying to level up all your stuff, have the best equipment, and you're fighting off raiders just to live and survive. So if that's not a real life video game scenario, I really don't know what is.
All right.
So yeah, I would totally be right at home. Me and John would be just co-op the whole time. So
Right.
yeah.
That's the sad thing. It takes an apocalypse to bring couch co-op back.
Yeah, that is a legit couch co-op, real life couch co-op in the post-apocalypse.
Yep. The real life is your video game, as opposed to like Shenmue, where you literally drive a forklift around
that
on a
game,
port. Yeah,
yeah, that
I do
game,
that every
remember-
day. I don't want to have to do that for my real life, what if scenario. No thanks.
You remember the first time we played Shenmue? I think, what were we, like 15?
Probably,
played
yeah.
Shenmue
Dreamcast,
1,
way
yeah,
back.
on the Dreamcast, the very short-lived, ahead of its time console, which I wish would have actually had a little bit more life than it did.
The first console you could connect to the internet, be it
Yeah,
dial-up,
and
but still.
at the time, it actually had some like legit HD graphics. I remember the water effects in games on Dreamcast being like nothing we had ever seen before.
Yeah, the Resident Evil for Dreamcast was pretty phenomenal.
Yeah,
At the time.
yeah, Shenmue. It we thought this is a revolutionary game. Like, yeah, like driving a forklift. Like, we can actually pick up a telephone and dial a random number and get some like things that we do in everyday real life. We're doing in a video game and thinking completely amazing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a fun game. Might have to download that on Xbox Game Pass and relive some memories.
All right.
So, right on, yeah. So essentially, we all really love Bethesda. That's what I got from that little
Pretty much, yeah.
that little segment there. Bethesda makes great open world games and very immersive, and they definitely make you wish you could live in those universes.
Okay, so the
So-
follow-up question to that then is, which video game would you hate to live in?
Oh, jeez. That one's going to take a little bit of some thought.
Oof, I don't even know if I know the answer. My answer to that.
Yeah, that's
Wait, what was the answer again? Sorry, I was...
There you go.
which video game world would you least want to live in?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
I got it right here. Mario.
Yeah.
Like, you're stuck in tubes, for Christ's sake.
You're just going about your everyday life, and all of a sudden, a fat plumber jumps on your head.
Like, how terrifying would that be?
Real life Mario. Yeah, you go into a tube and all of a sudden, wait, I'm not appearing in the next level. I actually have to crawl through this tube?
What's in those tubes? I mean, they're it's like plumbing.
Right.
Yeah, sewer tubes even.
Gross. It'd be like Goomba poop and like, no, I'm good.
They definitely kitty that game universe up for the console.
Poor Yoshi. I mean, you just beat the hell out of him the whole time.
Right. Make him eat everything.
Yeah.
The princess is in another castle. But what? Who's the princess? Why? What?
What the hell am I doing?
She's not gonna love me when I show up covered in Goomba shit. Like, damn sewers.
Yep. You're an overweight plumber who is constantly tripping on mushrooms and is guilty of animal cruelty,
Right.
chasing a nomadic princess who can't stand still for 5 minutes.
Ugh.
That's
Takes a
funny.
special kind of guy.
Let's see. My least favorite video game world, or one I would least want to live in. I love this franchise, but I don't think I would want to live in the Resident Evil world because Raccoon City is just constantly under biological attack. like a zombie apocalypse would be cool and all, but that's like every other day in Raccoon City. You know, like there's no surviving it. You're just constantly, and then they're getting bombed. Like there's always some rocket coming to destroy the city that you
Right.
have to, hurry up and escape before it, collides with the city. So yeah, I think Resident Evil's Raccoon City, that would be my least favorite.
It's like, when would you actually be able to sleep? I'd be so
Yeah,
afraid to sleep.
Never, ever.
Yeah.
Like, and granted, you have green herb to keep you occupied. So yeah, like you could roll up your herb and
Heal
take your
yourself.
mind- yeah, heal.
All
When
right.
you hear those quotations.
Pass the time.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I as much as I love the franchise, I don't think I would want to live in that unit unless I was a badass cop. Because they're the only ones that actually survive that shit.
I mean, okay, so another companion question to go along with these is if you do get stuck in these worlds, do you acquire, said powers that some people have in these universes, or you just go as you as your normal self? Like if we're going to the Fallout world or the Skyrim, are we just playing us, or are we able to use the powers that they have in those worlds?
If I don't get the Weird Wasteland perk, I'm just killing myself.
There's no point.
You're right.
Like, if I don't get the Mysterious Stranger perk,
Yeah.
if that don't happen, I don't see a point.
I want
I mean-
bloody mess and finding extra ammo in every box, please.
And extra caps, got to have that one.
Yes. My barter skill and speech skill has to be 100.
And
See-
you have to transform into a female.
Yes.
Yeah, because you always play a female character, so if you got sucked into that world, you would
I
totally.
would suddenly be a girl, but
Yeah.
with, it'd still be me. I just have a woman's body.
Yeah, I mean, I
But just your head.
My face.
differently. All of a sudden, we'd have a Weird Wasteland romance on our hands.
Joe, you stay away. It's still me.
I mean, we don't have a lot of options in the Wasteland.
I don't know, man.
Raiders, ghouls, or super mutants.
Right. Or John, who now has the woman of a body. Oh,
Body.
Yes.
Oh.
wait a minute.
A girl like me and a guy like you.
Strike that. Reverse it.
That's funny.
Just go back and edit it.
Yeah. Deleting.
Take two.
Okay. All right. So now, what would your favorite video game or movie weapon be? What weapon would you most want to take with you to this world?
You can definitely tell that Joe thought of these questions. These are all Joe questions.
Actually, Travis came up with a couple of them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're
Are
one
you
and the same.
Guys,
so.
the same person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say he's essentially Joe Jr.
Two people at one time. We're talking about going to like crazy, you know, video game universes. And you guys are already into different places at one time in the IRL. So
We're interchangeable.
just pull the beard off and swap faces. There you go. You're like Mr. Potato Heads.
Yes. That's pretty great.
Too funny.
Favorite weapon.
I want that on a T-shirt. I want me as a Mr. Potato Head on a T-shirt for Travis.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, you guys totally need T-shirts of each other now. That would be the funniest thing ever, I think.
Well, that's happening.
And I want a
All right.
gender swapped shirt of you too.
I was wasting time merch coming soon. TBD. That's great.
Disclaimer: not actually coming soon.
Or is it?
Uh-oh.
Oh, keep you guessing.
That's
That'll
hilarious.
definitely be some of my T-shirt.
Yep. If we ever do get a chance to do that, yeah, I could see us. I'll put my face on a shirt on top of a woman's body. 100%.
Yeah, like I'm picturing the chick from the cover of Fallout 4, but with your face on it.
A Rocket Girl. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm thinking of it now. Like, we have, both me and Joe's faces on this T-shirt, but, like, our noses and our eyeballs are pulled out, and they've got, like, the straight back.
Yeah, yeah.
pieces
Yeah,
to
yeah.
insert.
Yes.
That's great.
That's a web game too. Web game browser. Mobile game coming soon.
Instead of putting the tail on the donkey, it's put the face on the jug. That's funny. I hope we don't confuse people with our gamer tags and names and stuff because if you follow us on Discord, our names are kind of weird.
A little bit. It's a tag, you know. Everybody has one.
I think I always just feel like mine is the most out there.
It's very unique.
Yeah, it had a bit of an inside story to it, which it takes way too long to tell, and it's not as funny as I want it to be. But
It's all good.
Cold Beans Crazy. Nice.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
And nobody, like, whenever I'm getting people, nobody ever knows what to call me. They're like, hey, Cold, behind you. Yo, Crazy. Hey, Beans. Like, they never call me. They always just pick either the beginning, middle, or end to call me. But I always know who they're talking about, too. So I guess that's all that matters.
That is true.
Speech increased.
Put 5 points into this.
Good old CBC.
Nice.
All right, yeah. I have one. I always kind of. John, I know where your gamer tag came,
Yes.
but Travis, explain.
So, I came back from basic, and it was Family Day. So Family Day is whenever, I mean, just in the title of it, your family comes out and they see you and they cry and oh my god.
Right.
My brother comes up, he cries. My mom comes up, she cries. The first thing my dad says is, "What's up there, Jugs?" And I immediately go to, "You talking about my tits, bro?" And he's like, "No, you look like a fucking juggernaut. What the hell happened? Gone for like 8 weeks." I just got so like the instant like, I'm a badass, man. You talking about my titties?
Okay. All right. So right on, Juggernaut. Got it.
I don't
Nice.
think I even knew that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I get it. Cool name. Good story. I dig it. I like it. All right. I'll tell the story of mine. Me and an old buddy. I haven't actually hung for it with him a few years now. Actually, he used to be friends with John too. Me and him were playing a tabletop, like pen and paper kind of game, kind of like D&D, but it was a Marvel superheroes game. And I was creating a character who was essentially a Batman meets Rorschach from the Watchmen type character. And in order to be a Batman type character or a Rorschach type character, you have to be a little crazy. So, in explaining my character to him, I said, I'm crazy, but I'm not exactly cold beans crazy, like Rorschach, which there's actually, any hardcore Watchmen fan will know, there's a scene in the movie and in the comic where Night Owl comes home and Rorschach is in his house, in his kitchen, eating a can of beans, just eating straight out of the can, eating them cold. So, and Night Owl's like, hey, I can heat them up for you. And Rorschach's like, nope, fine like this. And Rorschach is definitely a few pennies shy of $1. So, yeah, so when I went to go create my new gamer tag, I just thought about that little in joke between me and him about cold beans crazy, and it stuck, so I used it. Like I said, not that funny unless you were there for the actual joke. But yeah, essentially my name was inspired by Rorschach from The Watchmen.
Yes.
Yes. So, John, you got to tell your story now.
Oh, 2 seconds. Scales. I mean, I stick thin like a skeleton. Always have been. That's about all there is to my name. Just one of the many skinny related nicknames that you could give somebody, I guess. So
I was just about to say, you have the most nicknames of anyone I've ever known. Like, what? Let's see. Let's name some of them off. Some of my favorites were Paper.
Yeah.
Scrons.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Skell Scronsator.
Oh yeah, combining all of them. I forgot about those two.
And of course, Johnny Kegels.
The Beef Maker. Yes.
The Meat Man.
Hey, Meat Man.
Good time. I don't think there are any actually like legit cool gamer tags out there. Even the ones that people think sound cool sound so ridiculous to other people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like any gamer tag that ends with 420 or 69 or or 666 or 187 or any of that stuff, you're cracking somebody up. It's probably me.
Maybe for the wrong reasons, though.
Mm-hmm. True that.
That's funny.
All right. Excuse me.
I think we got away from the last question you asked.
I was just about to bring us back to it. Yeah. So, favorite weapon, video game or movie?
Ugh. See, like, okay, so does it have to be physical, tangible weapon?
No, just any weapon that was just
Okay.
like
Then I would
if
have
you
to
could
say,
like, legit hold it in your hand, or just have access to it.
right.
What one would it?
So it would have to be Jedi Powers. I mean,
Okay.
because they could do pretty much anything.
Yeah, that was actually I wasn't really thinking about Jedi powers as a weapon, but yeah, okay,
Ooh. Here, how about we do weapon and ability?
okay.
Oh, there we go. So like
So
physical,
Jedi-
tangible, and or like a power type thing.
Okay, so
Power
Jedi
of
would
the
be
mind.
Jedi would be the power, so the Force as your ability. So what would be Would it be a lightsaber or no?
Oh. Well, the idea, as far as I'm aware, anyways, you guys are the Star Wars like professionals. You know more about this stuff than I do, but isn't it that lightsabers can cut through literally anything except for other lightsabers?
I mean, just about. There are some other weapons in the Star Wars universe that aren't classified as lightsabers that can still block a saber. I mean, even in like the newer in the Force Awakens, there's that one stormtrooper that has that like super electrical baton thing that can
Oh
block
yeah.
the lightsaber. So, I mean, there are weapons in the Star Wars universe that can block a saber, but the saber is still essentially the most powerful, like, tangible weapon in that universe.
They've just created
Next to the Death
materials
Star.
that can block.
I don't see a lightsaber blocking a blast from the Death Star.
Yeah, no. If it had the ability to absorb energy, then maybe. But then even still,
Luke's dumbass would be up there.
yeah, holding his lightsaber into the sky as the Death Star shooting down onto Tatooine or something.
J.J. Abrams, I want to see that in the next.
Yeah, and he would absorb all of that energy into his lightsaber and then shoot it back out of his palm and destroy the Death Star that way.
That's like the
Alternate
most-
reality Star Wars. Yeah.
that would be the most powerful Jedi ever.
Do you imagine how shitty the Emperor would be? Like, are you kidding me?
You can do everything.
Turn to Vader. You were supposed to be the chosen one.
Yes. Yes, your failure has now come off.
Oof. I heard, wait, did I read that right the other day? The guy who played the Emperor passed away?
Oh shit.
Oh, that's the first I'm hearing of that. Looking
The
that up right now.
article was the artist formerly known as Palpatine.
Really?
Yeah.
Googling that right now. Let's see.
10,000 clicks in the air.
Yeah, I don't know.
Star Wars.
Well, it's not the same guy, though, is it? From the original trilogy? And the guy
No,
who's
it is.
played him now?
Yep, same guy.
Same guy.
Well, he was in the original trilogy and the new trilogy. Meaning episode 1, 2, and 3. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean 4, 5, and 6. He wasn't the
Uh,
same guy, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
He, as a young man, he played the old man Palpatine,
Right.
the Emperor, and then as an old man, played the young man Palpatine.
Right.
Kind of weird. Let me IMDb this. They'll have his death date if he actually is passed away.
Cat in the chat for her weapon. She says boat or?
Yes.
Yes. The one weapon to beat all weapons.
That's got a
Bodor.
story behind it. Dude, that Bodor was badass.
That thing lasted for so long.
It did. So, okay, me and John, back to D&D type games, playing with our old buddy, he came up with this zombie version type D&D, zombie apocalypse. And John, I'm not even really sure why you had this, but he had a Bodor.
I found it, I think, one time when we were canoeing, and where we got out, it was just laying there on the beach, and I was like, this is a perfectly usable Bodor. I'm taking this with me. So yeah, that's how I got the Bodor. Just a
Yes.
wooden Bodor.
Yeah, so John legit had this Bodor, and in the game that we were playing idealized versions of ourselves, and our starting equipment was whatever we actually had in our possession. So John actually owned this Bodor, so that was his starting weapon, and he never got another weapon because that Bodor was so badass.
It was so beast. It was ridiculous.
Like,
If we ever get to the point where we're able to make games or something, I'm putting a Bodor in there somewhere, and it's going to be the best weapon in the game. It's going to be ridiculous to find. Well, once you find it, you'll never need another weapon again.
yeah, John running around, that's a secret character running around with a female body and a Bodor.
You-
Unstoppable.
You have to kill me to get said Bodor, but it's not going to be easy.
Because this Bodor was like 6 foot long. It had ridiculous reach on it, and like he was just killing. Like between his Bodor and my headbutt that I had, we were unstoppable. We on any group of zombies.
Yeah, Joe's just running around headbutting zombies, and I'm coming in for the cleanup with the Bodor, like
There was
unstoppable.
there was one point in the game where we had stolen an ambulance. We were driving around, came across this group of zombies, and we were outside the ambulance with the doors open. I was on one side, John was on the other. I took down my zombies. I saw John was having some trouble, so I just basically dove through the cab of the ambulance and headbutted a group of zombies, like a flying headbutt.
Yes.
And saved his life.
That was the thing. Flying headbutts. That was your
Like it,
special move there.
yeah. In real life, I actually do have a really.
Oh yeah. I've been headbutted by this man, and I would not suggest it ever.
Yeah, like zombies beware. According to IMDb, Ian Diarmid, who played Palpatine, is not dead. So that must have been some.
So I don't. Maybe I read
some
the
fake
article
news.
wrong.
Yeah, that or
Scrolling
it was
through.
fake news, clickbait.
Right.
That, or you just ruin the plot of the next Star Wars. Appreciate that one.
Heyo. Spoilers. Hashtag.
Right on. All right, so I guess we're gonna be ending this session of wasting time with Joe, John, and Travis. So I would like to thank all of our viewers/listeners on Twitch. You guys are awesome. Hope you guys had a lot of fun.
Respect and love you guys.
On YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by and listening to us talk about anything and nothing.
Mom, I'm wrapping up right now.
I gotta clean the kitchen up, Travis. I'm not joking around.
Yeah, I'm coming here
Leaving,
If,
leaving that in the video, by the way.
now. Yes.
so, I would like to add, if there's any topics that you want to bring to our attention, anything that you want to talk about or want to hear us talk about, feel free to leave any comments, ideas. Always welcome. Give us your opinions on your favorite video games, movies, video game weapons or abilities, or anything else that you.
Any
Yeah,
other nerd nonsense.
For any of the folks on YouTube, do not forget to hit that bell notification icon and that subscribe button
Yes.
for more podcasts coming from us.
Considering their algorithm is broken. Smash that bell. Make it look like the Liberty Bell.
They should totally change the bell icon to look pretty bell.
That'd be racist.
What? Would it?
That's topics for not on the podcast.
Nice. And on that note, thanks for stopping by again, guys. We will see you next week.
Later.
Bye.